All right, so within my 5 minutes of cleanup at my sink, we have a lot of sink stuff that has to get taken care of. So this video tutorial is on how to use your sink and get everything cleaned up quickly, okay? Because we don't have a whole bunch of time. So the first thing you're gonna notice that I have is a double dip. So I wanna take care of that. I can either just use my paintbrush, pull it out, or my finger and pull it out, or in this case, I don't want to use my finger. I'm just going to take paper towel and I'm literally just going to scoop inside and take care of that double dip so you can see I got it all out, okay? So we want to make sure we take care of any double dips that get in our paint as soon as possible so they don't get mixed in, okay? So then paint I don't need at my sink area. You're going to see I have a water basin to clean out, so dirty water, I'm just going to dump that. Very quick cleanup, rinse it out with fresh water, make sure there's no gobs of paint in it. And then I'm going to set that upside down in my dry rack that's next to my sink anyway, just to dry out through the rest of the day. So you don't have to worry about putting your water basins away. Then you're going to notice I have a dirty brush. So my brush has a little bit of paint on it. And I don't want to use the dirty water that's in my water basin, so instead I'm just going to use a little bit of mixture of hot and cold water, and I'm just going to rinse that out real good so that I can make sure that I'm not leaving paint in it for the next person that uses this brush. I wouldn't want to wreck their work, okay? And the third thing I have back here is my paint palette. So it's very typical for a kid to run the water, stick it underneath, and only to have all the water come back up on them. So make sure to use the depth of your sink. They're pretty deep on purpose. Hold your palette on an angle, please, and put it all the way down so it's touching the bottom of your sink, okay? A palette should be touching the bottom of the sink to avoid having your sink countertop get all wet, as well as yourself or anybody standing nearby, okay? Then you're going to notice that I am using my fingers to get out all the paint. Instead of letting the water melt it away, I'm going to use my fingers because it goes a lot faster. So if you're counting, I hadn't even had that running under the water for a minute yet. So it's all clean. Now I just want to make sure that before I store it in my Ziploc bag, that I have it relatively dried off, okay? I don't want to come tomorrow to class, or if it's sitting over a weekend, I don't want to come to class the next day and have to have a stinky palette, okay? So I want to get it nice and dry so there's not a whole bunch of water on it anymore, front and back, and then I'm going to stick that in my Ziploc bag, put it on the back counter where the storage is, okay? So the last thing I would want to do at my sink before I walk away is I'd want to make sure that the countertop is not soaking wet with water, as well as the floor area, okay? But other than that, it takes really less than 5 minutes for you to clean up yourself in your sink, but unfortunately, not everybody has an individual sink, so we have to share and use our time well.